close the doors up there. Anybody out in the hallway, please tell them to come on in. Our first speaker this morning is a legend. You know, I have seen thousands and thousands and thousands of speakers throughout my life. And I've seen some really great ones. He's the best. He, every year, gives a flawless, impeccable, dynamic presentation in a way I wish I could emulate. I wish I could do it. You know, we all have our own styles. I am so incredibly envious of how effective and great he is. And I hate to say it, he's actually even more handsome than me, which really bothers me. But I'll get over it because he comes year after year after year. And, you know, just like I told you before, we don't pay these people. They come and they do it because they want to give back too. So let's get on your feet and give a big leap welcome to Jonathan Sprinkles. All
right, here we go. All right, Leap, let's go. Come on. Come on. Hey, come on. Come on. Hey. Say, clap your hands, everybody. Everybody, clap your hands. Come on. Say, clap your hands, everybody. Everybody, clap your hands. Everybody say, hola, hola, hey. Come on. Say, hola, hola, hey. Come on, come on. Say, woo-wee. Come on, come on. Say, woo-wee. Come on, come on. Now throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And if you're ready to have some fun this morning, all the leapers say, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody repeat after me at the top of your voice. Say, if it is going to be. Come on, we can do better. Say, if it is going to be. Then it's up to me. So I choose to see. Only the possibilities. Come on, say, I control what I think. Yeah, come on, say it with your chest. Say, I control what I think. And I control how I feel. Now this is my favorite part. Everybody say, I know I'm great. Come on, just because it tastes good, say, I know I'm great. And that's for real. Every day, I will be the best me. One more time, the best me. Speak to your future, say, the best me that I can possibly be. Now look at your neighbor. Find one person. Look at them in the eye and say, neighbor. Oh, neighbor. Look here. You need to know something. Times change. Seasons change. And you'd better believe people change. But there's one thing that will never change. That is that I will always look better than you. Give yourself a big round of applause. Come on. Come on. Put some energy in the room, y'all. Give yourself a big round of applause. Let's go with it. All right, if you're ready to have some fun, somebody say fun. Just one person, huh? Okay. If you're ready to have some fun, somebody say fun. Good. If you want to have a good time, say yeah. I was raised by some very good people. They said, John, anytime, anybody, anywhere does anything good for you, you need to make sure that you tell them what? Hey, just one, everybody else back there just ungrateful. Of course, anytime, anybody, anywhere does anything good, we need to make sure that we tell them what? Thank you. So before I even open my mouth this morning, I want to make sure that I do as I was instructed to do, and I now have the privilege to do. My son is in Guatemala today. He's a rising sophomore in Houston, Texas, where I live. And he's doing a mission trip at an orphanage. And we had a conversation, his mom and I had a conversation yesterday on WhatsApp. And he said, Dad, I think I get it. Because within the household, I have an expression that I've taught since he was little. We are blessed to bless. And he said, we went in these houses, and they didn't have any floors. I mean, they had dirt, but no carpet, no wood, and that's all he had ever seen. And he said, all we brought these kids were lollipops and Hot Wheels. And these kids, you would think we had just brought them $1 million because they were just so grateful that someone was there for them and that someone brought them something. There was a girl who was 16 years old, and she was in the 7th grade because she wasn't able to go to school because she had to work. And so all the things that he was getting for free and the things that were these entitlements that he had and these things that he just thought everybody was like this, he's now starting to get it. He's now starting to see what gratitude really looks like. It's one thing to say, you gave me something and I say thank you. Okay, that's expected at this point. But then there's something even greater when you understand it didn't have to be this way. That maybe if I was born in another place or in another spot, if I was born to a different set of parents or in a different zip code or a different country or at a different point in time, then maybe my life wouldn't look like this. And it hits different, doesn't it? It hits different when you really get it on the inside, when it's not that response that you have to give because you're supposed to just say thank you. But when it's that response when you say, this comes from a place that says, I value you. I value my life. I value what I have. And so for that reason, I'd like us to reach out to that place. And I want to say, I value you. I can't see you, but I value you. I hope you don't miss this because this is something that I think is really important for you. I want to come from that place this morning. I want to come from that place that says, I value you. And I want you to think about something that you've experienced this week or a person that you've met or an experience that you've had, and you say, you know what, I wouldn't have had that if it were not for Leap. And I want you to do me a favor. And before I even open my mouth to say a word, I'd like you to please turn to your coaches and give them an I value you type of applause and show them love. Come on, come on. So that was polite. That was really polite. That's like, oh, you bought me Starbucks. Thank you. That's appreciation. Let's go to the level of gratitude, where you say, my life is changing because of you. You care about me and you choose to see me, and I want to make sure I pour into you the same way that you've poured it into me. Can you do me a favor? Turn to your coaches and show them some gratitude love. Go ahead. All right. I hope we keep that same energy. And he's not in here. I'm assuming he's somewhere around here because he's always doing something. But I need you all to know something. And I've done this now, I'm very proud to say, for 15 years. And as I stand on this stage, every single time before I've started, I always began by showing love to someone who showed love to me. A long time ago, there was really no reason for me to be up here. My life has changed. It's gone to a lot of different heights. We've had a lot of things that have happened. But in the beginning, it was kind of a risk. I was somewhat of an unknown to some people. And Dr. Bill Dorfman chose to say, hey, I'd like you to be a part of the program. Guys, I need you to know this. Oh, there he goes. I couldn't see you. Sorry. But Dr. Bill was, this one thing I need you to know is that this isn't free. Like Pepperdine, ironically, I was born in L.A., born in South Central, as a matter of fact. And then we moved to Oxnard right before I moved to Texas. And we would drive on Highway 1. So the ocean was at the left and Malibu was on the right. And my father and I would always have these conversations. And I would always hear that this school on the hill, Pepperdine University, was where all the rich kids went. And I knew I wasn't one of them. I knew that for sure. So I guess that was for them. So I was today years old when I was finally able to make it on Pepperdine University's campus. And I need you to know this isn't like free. They don't just do it because they just love the community. Dr. Bill has a very successful practice in Beverly Hills. He does a lot of great things. He's worked on a lot of celebrity smiles. But this is where his heart is. This is where his passion is. And you just simply saying, I get it. My life is changing. Things are different now. I see myself differently. I see my past differently. That's all a part of his true life purpose. The profession takes care of the other parts of life. But this is really who he is as a human being. And so for that reason, can you all do me another really big favor and stand to your feet and show love to Dr. Bill Dorfman for his vision, his love. Yeah. Let's keep that same energy all week long. So I want to talk about the power of connection. I want to talk about what this really means to us because we hear this a lot. We talk about connection and you just have to connect. But no one really ever talks about what that looks like. No one ever talks about why it's important and more importantly, how we can make this happen for ourselves. I'm going to be honest with you. Dr. Bill said that I might be one of the best speakers and all of those things. That's very kind and polite. But my goal today is to be the most honest speaker that you hear this week. I'm just at a place in my life right now where authenticity is just coming out. And so I have a plan and places that I want to take us, but there are very likely some places that we're going to go that I didn't even know before I stood on this stage. So there are some things that we're going to talk about. For example, why is this dude standing on the stage with no shoes on? I've never done this before, but here's the reason why. I flew into LA yesterday, and I had 2 bags. I had 1 bag for the smaller stuff. I had a big bag for some of the bigger stuff, and the bag with the bigger stuff, it won't unlock. So I just can't get into it. And the bigger stuff is where I had my shoes and all kinds of, so I said, all right, well, I have to make a choice. And I'm either going to complain about this all day or I'm going to figure something out. Was I happy about it? No. Did I have some compound cuss words? Absolutely. But here's what I understand as well. You talk about connection. Like, what are you connected to? Are you connected to how you look or are you connected to what you're there to do? What are you connected to? A lot of times people talk about resilience. Everybody say resilience. Yeah, like resilience is when you fight back. Whenever life knocks you down, you what? Get back up, right? That's resilience. It's like life going up and down. Every time you go down, you got to get back up. Now, that's a resilient life. A lot of us have had to live with resilience. We've had some challenges in our life at times, yes? We've had people say things about us, yes? We've said some things about our own self, yes? Yeah, we've had a lot of challenges on the way to wherever we're going. Now, resilience is always important, but what I've discovered is that the bigger and more important value that we can show is not resilience, but instead it's working with resolve. Resilience means I'm going to get back up every time I get knocked down. Resolve says I'm committed to the end. Resolve says I'm committed to getting there, however, whenever, whatever I look like, whatever I have to do. Resolve says I didn't come from a rich family, but a rich family is going to come from me. Resolve says this is where I was born, but what I do with my life is up to me. Resolve says I'm a 10 regardless of what room I'm in. Resolve says I choose to be an eagle, even if I'm around the chickens. Resolve says this is how it's going to be, regardless of what you might see, regardless of what you might say. It doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It just means it hasn't happened yet. That's resolve. And so resolve, I'm having I can't talk a good game, but then not live a good game, right? So I have to see if I really believe what I teach, including having my real life get messed up in front of some people who I really want to impress. And so what did I do? I put on my best clothes, and I did what I was supposed to do, and my microphone was in there and all the things that I needed, and I said, I guess that's not the way it's supposed to be, but that means it's going to be even better another way, and so I'm going to be open. You see, there's a difference. Here we go. There's a big difference between force and flow. Force says, I'm going to make them respect me. Force says, I'll prove them wrong. Flow says, I'm going to prove me right. Force says, it's got to happen this way, it's got to happen by this time. Force says, ooh, I feel like I'm behind right now. I was supposed to be better at this point in my life. Force says, it's supposed to happen this way. Flow says, maybe I need to just remain flexible, because flexible people don't get bent out of shape. Flow is very different than force. Force is about ego. Force is about how we see life. Flow says there's a much bigger plan that I'm a part of. And as long as I stay aligned with the goal, I'm going to be very realistic about the possibilities, but I'm going to be unrealistic about what all can come from my life as I move to the possibilities. I'm going to just flow with how it goes. I'm going to flow with it. I'm going to just flow with it. It means I may have shoes on, I may not. Some people may like it, some people may not. Some people may say, hey, that's a really good idea. Some people may not. It means I may get rejected, and that's okay, because rejection is just redirection. Because when you understand, there's really no such thing as failure. It's not that you were a failure, that just wasn't the group for you. And so, in a way, you end up saying, thank you. Thank you for letting me not waste my time with you. Thank you for not letting me play myself and pour myself out into someone who does not have the capacity to receive someone at my level. Flow. You just flow. I didn't know I was going to be talking about that, but I'm just flowing with it this morning. But this is where I want to go. I'm talking about the power of connection. Like, what are you really connected to? Are you connected to life being on your terms? Or are you connected to the people who you're here to serve? Are you connected to what you're doing? Or are you connected to how you have to look while you do it? My mom has a PhD, and while she was getting her PhD, while I was in high school, oh, by the way, I'm just going to just fast forward so you can understand about this whole thing. You don't think I'm like giving you an inauthentic version of my life. So I told you about my father, and he was, we would drive up PCH and do these cool things. My father, the reason why I moved from California to Texas was because right around 8th grade, he got sick. He had cancer. And by 9th grade, he passed away. So I lived with my mom, who I hadn't lived with since I was like 4 or 5 years old because my parents divorced. And my mom, throughout all of high school, my high school, she was getting a PhD. So I pretty much kind of raised myself in a way. She was there. She was definitely there. She was there often. She was a great mother. But I had a lot of freedoms. And I'm going to talk a lot about that. Sometimes freedom isn't free. And so my mom she told me about one of her fellows, which is like a classmate. One of her fellows was named James Hammond. He went to Louisiana and he conducted a survey. And it was about the power of the mind. And he talked about that in relation to students and what you believe. So they had a classroom of students, They gave him a Frisbee. And one by one, he'd have them go out, stand. Whoa, that wasn't supposed to happen. He'd go out and throw the Frisbee. He would mark it, put it down on the notepad. He'd say, thank you very much. And you'd have him go to another room, separate room. The next person would come out. He would go out, he'd mark it, thank you, have them go to another room. And they went on, third, fourth, fifth, until all of them were done. He looked at them and he did a ranking of the top all the way down to the bottom. Who could throw it the furthest, all the way down to who could throw it least furthest. And he cut them in half. Took the half that was the best, and he put them in one room. He took the half that was struggling, and he put them in another room. And this is where the magic happened. He went to the room that was the best, and he said, hey, I don't know what happened. Maybe the wind took it. Maybe you didn't practice. But all of you were in this room because you were the bottom half. Something didn't click with your throws. But try again next time. And then he went to the room that was the bottom half. And he said, hey, all of you are here because you're the top performers. Congratulations. You did a phenomenal job. Maybe the wind took it. Maybe you practiced. But all of you are here because of your performance. Great job. Keep it up. One by one, he did the second round. He took them out. He'd go and he'd measure it. Put it in the notepad. Say, thank you very much. Next one. So on and so forth, until they were all done. And watch this. The second round was something no one could have predicted. Not only did the bottom performers do better, they actually performed better than the upper half had the first time. The ones who were told they were bad performed poorly. The ones who were told that they were poor performers, they outperformed the top performers when they were performing at the top. And so what it tells us, and we're able to conclude, is that, you may want to add this to your notes for those of you who are taking notes. Belief drives behavior. And behavior drives who you become. I'll say it again. Belief drives behavior. And behavior drives who you become. What are you connected to? What I really believe, and I told you I was going to be the most honest person, what I truly believe more than anything in my life right now is that everything in your life, every measurable category, including some things that can't be measured, the status of your relationships, how much money you make, your weight, everything, your GPA, everything has to do with who you believe you are. It has everything to do with what you believe you deserve. There's something you may want to add to your notes called the Rosenthal effect. The R-O-S-E-N, Rosenthal, T-H-A-L, Rosenthal effect. It says this, that when you believe something, your life begins to align with that belief. If you believe something positive about your life, regardless of what it is, no matter how unrealistic it may seem at the time, if you just believe it, you start to find these little coincidences that start to happen. These little things in your life where you say, how did this even happen? I didn't know these people. Why did they reach out to me? Why did this happen this way? But the Rosenthal effect also says, if you believe something that's negative, your life also begins to align with that negative belief as well. And so if you wake up and say, today is going to be a really bad day, you're going to start looking for and finding evidence of that belief. And you're going to start behaving like it's a negative day. You're going to start behaving like it's going to be a bad day. You're going to start looking for all these evidence. And what your mind says is, see, I told you. See, I told you this is how it is. See, I told you this is how it was going to work out. See, I told you you shouldn't have tried. I told you you shouldn't have waved your hand. I told you you shouldn't have asked them out. I told you that you shouldn't have signed up for this class. I told you that AP was too hard. I told all these things. You start looking for evidence of that being true. So it'll work for you or it'll work against you, but it works. This is what they never told me growing up in South Central Los Angeles. They never told me about that. I thought that you were whatever you were born to. And there's some people who are born over there and they have real good lives and they all drive Mercedes. And there were other people who were born in the neighborhoods like I was in. And this is just how it is. They never told me about the power of belief and how important it is for you to be connected and committed to a belief that's bigger than your circumstance. My son yesterday told me about one of these kids who's so young and has never had electricity in the house, yet he wants to be a chef. How does he even know about this? I have a question. Who sees you? Who sees you? Who really sees you in your life? For who you really are. How many of us have ever been in a situation where we're in a group, yet we feel all alone? Yeah, that's where we need to be, right here. Yeah. How many of us have had a friend circle, and yet you say, nobody here really knows me? Yeah, that's where we need to be. So who sees you? I have a question for you. Who do you see when you look at yourself? Who do you see? When you look at yourself, has anyone else, you don't have to raise your hand, has anyone besides me ever looked at your face and the first thing you do is find all the flaws? First thing you do is say, oh, my nose is so crooked, and one of my nostrils is different than the other, and my eyes aren't shaped the same. Look at all these pimples. My hair, well, obviously I don't say anything about hair, but, look at my hair. What do you see when you see yourself? Because that is the frequency that you emit to the world. That influences the risks that you're willing to take. That influences the people who you're willing to hang around. That influences who you date. That influences the grades that you make. That influences the jobs and the scholarships that you'll apply for. What do you see when you see yourself? That's the work that we're going to do today. we're going to have a really good time. Because if anybody has ever said, I want to see something more from myself, I want to be more consistent in my positive belief. If anybody has ever said, I want to see something, I want to believe more, even beyond my circumstances. I want to believe that I can outperform the high performers. I know it's in me. I know that there's more. I know that there's greater. I know that there's bigger. I know that something more significant can come from me. I just don't know how. And sometimes that scares me. And so sometimes I feel like I have to be realistic. Sometimes I have to fit inside of a box because there are certain things that the world doesn't know about me. And I don't know if I'm ready to show those things to the world. I don't know if I'm ready to step outside of my comfort zone. I don't know if I'm ready to be more, because what we know is that the brain will always stick. Watch this. The brain will always stick to what it knows, even if it isn't what it wants. Like, ooh, that's good to write down right there. Oh, no, wait a minute. It'll always stick to what it knows. The brain is about self-preservation. The brain is all about trying to keep you safe. This is why people stay in relationships when you're like, I don't even like you like that. But you're what I know. I hang with these people even though I know we're going different places, but that's just what I know. And I don't even have a passion for this career or this major or this sport that I'm playing, but this is what I know. And so we tend to stick with comfort. We tend to stick in these things. And the only way for you to break out of this is to do some of these things that we're going to do today to help you see yourself differently. I told you about my son. And I look back, I got one of those memories on my phone. And this is us over the years. I just look and I say, wow, this young man has grown, he's developed, he has just been a joy and a dream. And whether it's a big picture or a little picture, there's a lot of memories in there. And sometimes he doesn't even see me. There's a transactional nature to that sometimes. I do this, you say thanks. I do that, this is expected. And it's hard sometimes when I go through life and I pour myself out to 500 people at a time, and yet no one is pouring back into me. And so I've learned, you may add this to your notes, please. Don't expect others to do something that you haven't first done for yourself. Don't expect others to do something that you haven't first done for yourself. If nobody sees you, you've got to see you. If nobody gives you credit, you've got to give yourself credit. If nobody loves you, you've got to love yourself. If nobody says it, you've got to say it yourself. You got to be that first voice. Everybody say first voice. Come on, say it loud. Say the first voice. Yeah, you got to be that first voice in whatever you need. You put on your nice clothes, you think you look nice, you better stop by the mirror and say, you look good today, player. If you did well, you don't wait until you show someone else to validate that. You say, I did well. I'm proud of me. I like me. I appreciate how I just said that. I know the sacrifice I made. I held the door for somebody. And you know what I do to myself? Literally, I'll put my hand up and I'll pat myself on the back. Now, why do I do this? Because that's kind of weird. I do it because it's not natural. I do it because that is something that tells my brain you just did something good. So when I have those low moments that we all have, all of us, we all have our low moments. Just because you're having one doesn't mean that you're not a 10, you're not an eagle. What it means is you're a human. That's it. So when you have those low moments, this is what I go back to. So I create what is called an anchor. Everybody say an anchor. I create an anchor. What does an anchor do? It makes a boat what? It makes it stay. So I anchor this and say, feelings, that positive feeling, you need to stay. And so I tell myself, I'm the first one to say, in the moment when I say, man, nothing goes good, my bag won't unlock and I've got my shoes in there, nothing is ever good for me. And I say, wait a minute, that's not even true. Wait a minute. What about all the other things that have happened in the last 3 days? All the other great choices that you made. But okay, you don't have shoes, but what else do you have? And all of these things have helped me to see me and to see my life. Because if I knew, I literally had the moment, I said this morning, they don't need you complaining. They need you strong. And the strength began to develop the moment that I started to see myself differently. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to play a little game. It's called the affinity game. And this is the time where I stop talking and you get to talk. All right? There's 3 questions that we're going to ask. We're going to grab a partner, and the first thing we're going to do is tell me the first thing you noticed about me. And then the second question is, tell me something you think we may have in common. And then thirdly, tell me something you like about me. Tell me the first thing you notice about me. Tell me something you think we may have in common. And then tell me something you like about me. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to partner up, find one person. Find a person, look at them in the eye. Find one person, look at them in the eye. Now give them a high five and say, you're awesome. You may have to wake up your person. All right, find your person. Everybody needs to have one person. All right, you got it. All right, find your one person. It may be behind you, maybe in front of you. If you need a person, raise your right hand. If you need a person who is very attractive, raise 2 hands. If you need a person, raise your hands. We're going to match you up. Okay, you are going to go with, you need a person? Who needs a person? Raise your hand. Good. Here. You 2 are going to go here. You 2, that's your person. Look, your person's standing up. Okay, who needs a person? Okay, who else? We have one other person who needs a person. Okay, everybody, shh. All right, so can we get a person with, what is your name? Oh, you found a person? Good, she's cool. All right, so here's what we're going to do. The person on this side of the room, you're going to be the one asking questions. The person on this side of the room, you're going to answer. When you've completed all 3, you're going to ask those same questions. This person is going to ask the questions to this person. And that's going to be round 1. You're going to keep going. You're going to ask and then answer. Okay, we're just going to do one quick round for right now and see how it goes. And then we're going to have a conversation about it. On the count of 3, we're going to go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go! You doing that? That's right. Well, there goes another one. Damn, we're doing that again. Oh, God. All right. Give your partner a big high five and say, you're awesome. Very good. Watch this, y'all. We're going to do this together. I want you to find someone behind you and switch, and we're going to have a new partner. A partner's going to be behind you now. Last row, find somebody in front of you. Last row, find somebody in front of you. Find a new partner. Okay. Shh. The person on this side, you're going to ask the questions. The person on that side is going to answer. And then when you're done, the person on that side is going to ask the questions. And the person on this side is going to answer. Ready? Go. Let me see yourself. He doesn't see me. Wow. Such a close relationship. Kind of a transaction. Fine. Just what it's supposed to do. Yeah. Absolutely. Will you wear those glasses? You promise you wear those glasses? If you wear those glasses, I'll come to the lobby. All right. 15 more seconds. 15 more seconds. Yeah, I know. I know. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give your partner a big high five and say, you're awesome. All right, very good, very good. Now, this is the time where we talk. We're going to have a family conversation. Talk to me. What was it like for you when you asked these questions? What was it like for you? Tell me about what your experience was like. Raise them high, raise them high. What was this experience like for you? Yes. Look at that. Good. Thank you. Give her a big round of applause. Who else is raising their hand? Okay, I'm going to go here and then here. 1 and then 2. Is there anyone over here who wants to talk? Okay, and then 3. 1 and 2 and 3. Perfect. That you wear a cardigan. Okay. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Give her a big round of applause. Who's number 2? Number 2. Yes.
I did the exercise with two people that are practically my family, so being able to hear how they felt about me, it was almost very reaffirming and very, very nice. So thank you.
For sure. Give her a big round of applause. Show some love. Number 3. Oh, fantastic. Show some love. Show some love. All right, I wanted to hear from this voice right here. Yes, in the back. Oh, that's so perfect. So perfect. Show some love. Which question was the hardest question for you? Number 2, something that we may have in common? Yes, what was the hardest question for you? She said, I need to find something. You hear what she said? I need to find something because I know it must be there, so I gotta find it. Gotta find it. That's so profound because sometimes when you're having a really crappy day, you say, there's something good about today. I gotta find it. See, there's something that I'm supposed to learn from this, even though, it makes me so mad. I just gotta find it. There's something that is supposed to come from this situation, even though I have no shoes and this wasn't what I planned, but something good is gonna come from it. I just have to, gotta find it. Sometimes it's really hard for us to ask and make ourselves vulnerable and say, tell me something you like about me. As a matter of fact, most of us have lives that are built around us projecting and telling the world what the world should see about us and what the world needs to know. But you don't need to tell me what you think. I don't need you to have that much power. But in subtle ways, we really want it. Anybody ever posted something you think you look good that day? You're like, oh, wait, hit the angle. Whoa, there we go. Hey. 12 likes. Oh, no, take that down. Take that down. And you say, well, maybe it wasn't as nice as I thought it was. And so it's very difficult for us to open ourselves up because now we can even measure something that people like about us. Or if we can't get the same algorithm love as others, we feel that maybe we're not as likable as others. And so I want to talk a little bit about that. I want to talk about that in a way. I want to talk about some of those L's that we've had to catch. Because we're going to redirect this a little bit and add a different flavor to the way things have been in the past. So I have a question. In what ways have you grown as a person because of the struggles that you've experienced? I don't want to know about the struggle. You don't have to tell me what it was. That's not my business. I just want to know, in what ways have you grown? What have you found as a result? Yes. Yes. So what did you learn about yourself in all of this, through all these rejections? Yeah. There you go. Show some love. Show some love. One more. What's something that you learned through your struggle? She's waving her hand saying, I've got to talk. Yes. Did you hear what was just said? Without the struggles, I wouldn't even be here today. Now, how many of us enjoy our struggles? How many of us enjoy? Now, you don't have to raise your hand because I know you don't. No one's like, ooh, life sucks. Yay. No one ever enjoys it, but you enjoy what happens after. And so oftentimes, fear keeps us in our place. We fear that struggle. We said the brain keeps us in what we know, even if it's not what we want. But when you're really committed to work with resolve, to get through those struggles, you understand that there's something beautiful on the other side. Add this to your notes, please, and then we'll move on. When you do the thing you fear the most, the death of fear is certain. When you do the thing you fear the most, the death of fear is certain. Isabella, it becomes a scary thing that you're no longer scared of. Jasmine, you realize I'm going to be okay. It was scary at first, but I lived. I cried. I felt isolated, but I made it through. I thought it was going to be bad, but the thought of it was worse than the actual doing it. What are you connected to? And so when we understand just how valuable and how nutritious these struggles are, you say, man, I never would have done this if I had the choice, but now that I had to go through it, I had to, what does she say? Find that thing. It's not that it wasn't there. We just weren't finding it before. But now that we have eyes to see a little bit differently, we can find those things. We can even change how we see ourselves. Next exercise we're going to do. This is going to be really fun. We're going to play a little game called What If. Everybody say, what if? What if? Yeah. What if is very simple. We have, as a matter of fact, can one person help me out really quickly? I just need one person. Let's see. Oh, come, you've just got that big smile. I can see it from over here. Come on, big, big, big smile. Come on over here. Give her a big round of applause. Always wanted to be a game show host. It happened today. All right. I don't have any money for you, though. Okay. All right. What's your name?
Jasmine.
Everybody say, what's up, Jasmine? All right. Very cool. Jasmine. So we're going to play a little game called What If Up and What If Down. So what if down is like the things that we worry about, those things that are like, no bueno. Like, I don't like that. Anybody ever had any worries or stress before? Anybody ever had that? Yeah, if you didn't raise your hand, you didn't understand that question. Okay, you pretty much know that that's kind of how life goes sometimes. What are some of the things that you think about or things that keep you up at night, the things that bother you in the form of a what if? Like, what if I try and I fail? Or what if I take this AP class and I can't get the, what are some of the things you think about right now in your real life?
What if I don't pass any of my classes with A's?
What if I don't pass any of my classes with A's? So everybody has some what if downs. But for every what if down, there's always a what if up. There's always a positive alternative that we usually don't think of, and that thing is something that will make you say, yes. There's things that will be right there in our lives, but you have to be careful, to look for them, and when you look for them, you will, as she said, find them. So what if you don't pass all your classes with A's? What if you focus, talk to your teachers, find the right people who are also making A's, and you end up with straight A's yourself? Give me another one. What if down?
What if I don't find my vet school, my dream vet school?
What if, she said, what if I don't find my dream vet school? What if, because you did all those great things, making A's, finding the right connections at school, and making good impressions on your teachers, that you have amazing letters of recommendations. Not only do you find your vet school, you also get a full scholarship to that vet school. Give Jasmine a big round of applause. So, Jasmine, I share this with you as a reminder that for every down, there's always an up, but we have to make ourselves find it. It's there as long as you look for it. Sometimes we just haven't given ourselves permission to step outside of what we know. But this is what we're going to do right now. We're going to turn back to our partner. We're going to find that partner again. We're going to have person A, who's going to be on this side. Person B is going to be on that side. Person A is going to give the what if down. Person B is going to give the what if up. So you're going to have to really think, what if the positive side? And then we're going to switch. And we're going to help each other work through some of those things that are sometimes stuck inside of our brain, inside of our heart. but we just haven't released it yet. But when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Give Jasmine a big round of applause. Did a great job. Great job. All right, let's partner up once again. Partner up once again. Find somebody. Give your partner a big high five and say, "You're awesome." All right, let's go. This person's going to give the what if down, something you've been thinking about, worrying about, stressed about. The other person's going to give the what if up. Ready, go. Let's get past that. All right, it'll be fine. You like that? Something good just happened. Something good. I want to hear about that. Can you share later? Okay. Jamaican. I'm going to say something. If your partner comes up with something good, give them a big round of applause where they are. Show them some love. All right. All right, give your partner a big high five and say, "You're awesome." All right, same question, y'all, same question. What was it like for you? What was it like for you? What did you experience? Everyone has an experience. I'm not looking for a good answer or a smart answer or anything like that. There are no smart answers. I just want the truth. What is your truth about what you experienced? And I'm going to say this. I can tell some of us are a little bit more outgoing. Some of us are more introverted, and that's okay. The truth is, when I'm not on stage, I'm an introvert as well. But what I'm asking you to do right now, is step outside of your box. If you're the type of person who doesn't normally talk, but you have things that you love to say, and it's always in your heart, but you're used to letting life pass you by, use this as your moment. Let this be the time when you do something you don't normally do. This is a safe space, and you're in a place where people will love and support you, especially if it's hard. I want you to take that SFS, your scary first step. I want you to take that scary first step toward living a bigger life, which starts with you having something to say. Okay? The reason why it's so important is because a lot of times we discount ourselves. We train ourselves to believe that other people will not value us. And it is a reflection of us not valuing ourselves. But the more we value ourselves, we start to then value our thoughts. When we value our thoughts, we then value our words. When we value our words, we value our actions. And that becomes our legacy. You're going to leave a legacy on Leap because everybody knows you're normally quiet, but this time you spoke, and people say, "I see you." And because I know how tough that was for you, I'm now inspired to do something that scares me too. Can we be scared? Can we do it scared today? Yeah. Let me say it again. Can we do it scared today? Yeah. Very cool. I salute you and I applaud you doing it scared. All right, talk to me. What was it like for you? What was it like for you? We're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay? Very good. Who's number 1? Yeah, I never remember who I just called. Okay, number 1.
When somebody comes to me and is asking for advice, and I'm able to give them an answer, and I'm able to physically see them have a moment of relief, and then go, "You know what? You're right." My partner said, "What if I don't pass my test?" And I said, "What if you don't pass, but now you know what failure looks like? You study even harder for
that. Love that. I don't know, we're snapping, clapping. What are we doing here? We clapping? Okay, we're clapping. All right. All right. Yes. So you didn't raise your hand, but I've got to ask. So you kind of getting voluntold here. What did that feel like to hear? Yeah. So good. That was a great answer. Thank you. Number 2. Who was number 2? Yes. Oh, okay. Whatever. You know, I don't. Whoever was number 2. Mm-hmm. Very good. Very good. How did that feel to you? Really quickly, we're going to reframe. A lot of times we say things to what we call triangulate, put distance between us and the problem. So we say, well, when you're not this, or sometimes when you do this, no. When I do this, we're going to speak for ourselves. Because when you own it, then you control it. Right? You control this. So speak for yourself. How did it feel? Okay? Relief and accepting. Go ahead. Say more. Be comfortable with myself without the exterior pressure. Who else wants that in their life? Who else is longing for that right now? Watch this. I want you to turn around. This is for you to see. Raise your hand high if you also are longing for that right now. Wanting to be able to live your life without all of the exterior pressure that you're currently feeling in your real life right now. Do you see how brave that was? You know how many people you spoke for just now? That's why you have to take that scary first step. Because you're not the only one. You're the one who said it, but we're all the ones who feel it. Thank you for that moment. Talk to me. Who was number 3? Were you number 3? Okay.
I think it definitely changed my perspective about how I view different situations, and knowing that I can give someone else advice even when sometimes I feel like my advice isn't as meaningful as it could be, and it is. So it was definitely helpful.
So good. So good. How did that feel to you? Good. Show some love, y'all. Show some love. Oh, she's standing up, ready to go. Yes. Hashtag dating coach. I like that. I love it. How did it feel to give that response? Just like that. When you were able to, what did she say? Find it. What did that feel like? Everybody said, How many of you, really quickly, I'm just observing something in the room. How many of you noticed how good it felt to make somebody feel good. How many of you experienced how good that felt? Can I have an honest moment with you really quickly? Growing up the way I grew up, I thought you had to produce things for people. Like the people who had power were the ones with money. The people who had power were the ones who had status. The people who had money were the ones who could do the biggest things. They had muscles or something. They were fast or they were strong or they had good looks. But what I've come to discover about life is that it's in those moments that you just had where you just make somebody's life a little better. You feel a greater sense of purpose than you would when you get the car or the house, when you make big money, when you have some things that other people can validate you by. It's in those moments where you just make someone's life a little better that you say, that just made my day. Because there's something about the human spirit that needs connection to other people. There's something about the human spirit that when you get the big stuff, it's nice because of the goal that you accomplish. And it's nice because, a Range Rover is definitely nicer than a Corolla. You have a better ride. But it also creates what I call the big disappointment. I have this big old house, but nobody's in it with me. I've got a suit closet full of 50 suits, and I'm all dressed up, but I don't have anywhere to go. Because sometimes in life, you find that you don't need another Starbucks. You don't need another chain. You don't need a purse. You don't need a pair of red bottoms. You don't need the LV or the CC. What you really need is a hug. And it's those people in life who give you those hugs. It's those moments when you could be there to give someone else that hug. When they say, I see you. That's where you experience your purpose, y'all. That's where you experience the true joy in life. ChatGPT can give you just about any answer that you want, but ChatGPT can't love you. What everybody is raising their hand about saying that they want is what they're saying is, I can perform my butt off. I know I can make an A if I have to, if I really, really have to. I can get a 5 on the AP test if I just put everything else aside. I can go to the great school. I can get the scholarship. I can get all these things. I know I can perform. But what I want is to be loved. What everybody is saying without saying it is, I just want to be loved. I want to be seen for who I am. That means you're going to see me for the scholar. You're going to see me as the athlete. You're going to see me as the rapper, the dancer, the funny person. But you need to also see me as the human who sometimes gets tired and who doesn't always have it together and someone who always needs help sometimes. I need you to see me for all of who I am. And that's what all of us are asking for, because on social media, we know how to be seen, but they still don't see us. And that's what we're asking for. So I'm going to show you. This is the reason why I put this up here. This is one of my favorite quotes, and I know a lot of them, but this is one of my favorite ones. Albert Einstein was attributed as saying, everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it's stupid. If you put yourself inside someone else's box, you're never going to fit. Sometimes you're being compared to your siblings, yes? Sometimes you're compared to your classmates. Sometimes you're being compared to who you used to be. Why don't you do it like you did when you were younger? because people sometimes try to treat us as though we are someone who we are no longer. What it's saying is, you don't see me. So we're going to close by doing this little exercise. It's called Allow Me to Reintroduce Myself. And this is how it works. Just for a moment, you are going to teleport 10 years into the future. Let me step back. I graduated high school, and they give you these books. A young lady said that she was graduating this year. She was a senior. When you're about to graduate, you're going to get these books, and they're going to say, put all these pictures in here, and they're going to say, write down your goals. What do you think your life is going to look like 10 years from now? Can I tell you a personal story? Can I tell you a personal story? All right. So right before I graduated, there was this one page. Most of the book I thought was really stupid. I thought it was corny, whatever. But then there was this one page that I flipped to, and it said, what do you think your life is going to be like 10 years from now? I was 18 when I graduated. So it said, what kind of house do you think you'll have? What kind of car do you think you'll drive? What do you think your family is going to look like? What kind of profession do you think you're going to have? I didn't really think a whole lot of it, honestly. I thought it was kind of goofy, but you know what? Let's just try it. Let's just see what happens. And so I wrote down certain things. I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to drive this. I think I'm going to live like this. And then I shoved a few other things in there from graduation time, and I gave these things to my mom, and I went off to college. My mom moved while I was in college, so it was in a box, and it was deep, 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 deep in a closet. Until years later, she said, hey, I've got this from your graduation. Do you still want it? I'm like, no, this is dumb. This is from high school. I don't care anything about high school. Why do I even want this? It's just a bunch of old pictures. None of us still look like that anyway. And I started just kind of flipping through the pages. And, oh, yeah, I remember I did this. Ha, 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 okay. And then I got to that page. There were 7 questions that they asked about what you think your life is going to look like. And each one of those things actually happened, including me saying, I'm going to drive a Mercedes-Benz this year. And I was driving a Toyota Corolla at that time. And the car that I happened to give to my nephew, because it was getting old, 12 years and 250,000 miles, was my Toyota Corolla. And after I gave away my Toyota Corolla, I saved up enough money and paid cash for my Mercedes-Benz. The exact year, way in the future. And it was that exact year that I said I was going to do it. I had completely forgotten about it. I didn't even know that it was even possible. And so they also did a study at Yale University with their top 100 graduates. They looked at all the things that made them similar, all the things that made them different. They said, you know what? These are the things that they all have in common here. Of the top 100 graduates, they discovered that the thing that was common among all of them was that they had goals that were written down, that they read and reviewed constantly. They waited 20 years, and they found these graduates of this class. And the ones who had written goals were worth more. The 3% who actually did it were worth more than the other 97% combined. That's the power of the written word. And so I'm going to give you a chance. I want you to visualize your future self. I want you to visualize you into the future. 10 years from now. Doesn't even have to be realistic to you. As a matter of fact, if it seems realistic, you're not dreaming big enough. If you think you can do it, you're not dreaming big enough. I want you to do something that seems cuckoo, something that seems like, yeah, right. I mean, like, I have a house here in Malibu, or I own the block here in Malibu, and I'm watching my boats, or something like, whatever it is, whatever matters to you. If you have a building, more importantly, the impact that you're making on people like you just made. How are you changing lives? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to raise your right hand. Raise your right hand. Put it over your heart. Not your Pledge of Allegiance heart. Put it over your heart. Take your left hand. Put it over your right hand. And just for a moment, I want you to follow me. For those of you who are willing, close your eyes. I want you to feel your heartbeat. I want you to feel your heart beating against your hand. The reason why this is so important is because when doctors search mommy's belly for signs of life, they don't look for brain waves. They listen for a heartbeat. Your heart has its own intelligence. Your heart will tell you things that your brain doesn't even understand. It just doesn't get it yet. Your heart will always lead you to your truth. Breathe deep. Exhale. Breathe deep. Exhale. Yeah. Breathe deep. Exhale. One more time. Breathe deep. Exhale. We're just going to sit in silence. See your life 10 years from now. What problem do you want to solve? What does your body look like? What are you most proud of? Who's proud of you? See their faces. Now let's have some fun. What is your house like? We have a celebration in the backyard. Who's there? See it. Feel it. Doesn't matter where you start. It's all about where you finish. Where do you choose to finish? What have you accomplished? Whose life have you changed because of your scary first step? What do you drive? What kind of diet do you have? What have you finally stopped doing? And how do you feel? Take a deep breath. And exhale. One more time. Take a deeper breath. Exhale. Take the deepest breath that you possibly can. Deep breath. Exhale. When it feels comfortable, you can rejoin us. Open your eyes. I don't want anyone to say anything. I don't want you to tell me anything. I just want you to grab your pen and write. Write about what you just saw. Just write it. Scribble it all over. It doesn't have to be for anybody else. You can write upside down. You can write in code. Whatever you have to do, write down what your heart just saw. Shh, don't talk to anybody else. You don't need anyone else's validation on this. Just write it down. The people, the impact, how you feel about yourself. Take about another minute, so write quickly. This is just you talking to your future self. Sometimes there's tears, and that's fine. Let them flow. Sometimes there's release. That's fine. Let it happen. Sometimes there's relief. You deserve that too. About 20 more seconds. We're going to wrap up. Bless you. Cough you. Ten more seconds. And just because I'm going to start talking, that doesn't mean that you have to stop writing. But I want you to have uninterrupted flow. On the way out of here, I want you to write 3 I am statements that reflect what you just saw. I am not a profession, like I am a doctor. No, I am a healer. Don't worry about the profession. Think about the impact. Think about what you're free from, what you're moving toward. 3 I am statements. All right. I'm going to let you all close. I want you to tell me how you feel right now. Give me some words to describe how you feel. Yes. He said relieved and accomplished and excited for the future and happy and yes, like a visioneer and hopeful and relaxed and empowered and encouraged and inspired and uplifted and motivated and stubborn and at peace and powerful and elated and we'll finish with loved. I knew it. I knew it. Final note. This is coming from the heart. I want you to remember this. Add this to your notes, please. Last thing, and then I'm on the way out. You were born an original. So don't live like a copy. My name is Jonathan Sprinkles, y'all. To God be the glory.
Wait. You know you're not done. Know you're not done because there's only one person in the world that can do what you're going to do right now. Everybody's going to take out your phone and you're going to go to your video and you're going to be blown away by the ABCs of LEAP.
All right.
Hold on. I want to video it too. I need a fresh one.
So I don't do this ever anymore. I used to close all my presentations with this, and the only time I do it is at LEAP, pretty much. And so the last time I did it was a year ago. So I've got to see if I can still remember how it's supposed to go. Make sure you reach out to me on Instagram, all of you. My name is Sprinkles. I'm the only one, promise you. Jonathan Sprinkles. Make sure you follow or reach out on Instagram because that's where I get to stay connected to you. I'm there for you. And I do that because sometimes we say, hey, this worked. Sometimes we say this didn't work, and I need help to make it work. Say, I need you to help me find it, okay? This isn't the part you have to record. This is my personal invitation to you. So I'm at jsprinkles.com, that's DOTCOM. Go to Instagram. You can tag me, find me. But more than anything, I want the relationship. I need the relationship more than I do the follow. I really want to be in your life and watch you shine over the next 15 years. Now, here we go. A, accept the uniqueness that you possess. Be an innovator, not an imitator or a player hater. B, believe that you were seed created to. D, do not just good, but great things. But if you were born with greatness in mind, know that not E, everyone is going to share your thoughts or your decisions because they don't have your same level of vision. F, folks are always going to try to convince you that you should quit, but it's only so that they don't look stupid when you do everything that they told you was impossible. So G, go ahead and step out. Give, and it'll be given right back unto you. H, have faith and know that you are a miracle in motion and a seed getting ready to blossom, and that eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, nor has it entered the hearts of man all that your God has in store for you. But J, just know this, you can't get to the fruits in life until you first step out on the limb. Okay? Y'all get that later. L, losing is only a state of mind. You're only a loser if you've lost hope. There's a lesson in everything, but you could only learn if you listen more and use your lips less. M, make room for mistakes. They happen sometimes. Just chill out. N, never give up on claiming your destiny because one man or woman with courage is a majority. P, place your mind on things that represent where you want to be, not where you are right now, because obstacles are the things you see when you take your eyes off the goal. Q, quiet doesn't always mean not having anything to say. Sometimes it represents peace. And remember, silence can never be misquoted. R, this is my favorite one, especially now. R, race and gender are great for record keeping, but terrible for excuses. So S, stop blaming others for your mistakes. Because girl, if you knew he was a little snake in the grass, you should have put your boots on and kept stepping. T, take time out daily to give thanks for 3 things in your life. 2 things that did happen and 1 thing that didn't. You need to always be V, very careful about who you allow in your inner circle, because W, when you got it going on, you normally attract 2 different types of people, those who also have it going on and those who don't have it going on but just want to be seen with you because you've got it going on. Expect to get out of your life only what you first put into it. First, be faithful over a few things. First, be faithful over that scary first step. First, be faithful over your what if up. First, be faithful over that resolve. First, be faithful over the few things. Then you can be ruler over many. Why settle for second best? Listen, if you don't hear from anybody else's voice, I want you to hear from mine today, and I sure do mean it. I'm so proud of you. Why settle for second best? If you don't hear it from anybody else's voice, I want you to hear it from mine. I believe in you. Why settle for second best? If you don't hear it from anybody else's voice, please believe this is the truth. I love you. Why settle for second best? If you're blessed and you know it, now is the time you show it. And Z's are the ABCs of LEAP. Once again, you were born an original. Don't live like a copy, y'all. I'm Jonathan Sprinkles. God bless you. You look so unimpressed.
How amazing is this man?